Anthony Blinken describes the U.S.-China relationship as the most significant geopolitical test of the 21st century.
Yes.
What do you think he means by that?
I think he recognizes, and of course the whole Biden administration recognizes that China, with its military might, with its economic strength, with the ability to perform effective diplomacy around the world, and technology. All those elements have made China probably the most formidable challenge to the U.S. You know, in the olden days, it used to be the Soviet Union. But now it's clear that China will have a role. But in the speech, it was quite clear that it's the presentation will not be black and white. You know, he did not call China an enemy, but he said that it depends. Some issues we can work with China, some we will compete, and some we will have to compete a bit harder. So it's still the doors are open, and the main emphasis was on diplomacy.
And how do you think the message was received by China?
I think China expected something like this. One thing that China liked about Trump, although it would never admit, was that Trump had no friends. So when Trump attacked China, it was Trump, the US alone. And China felt very comfortable with that. In fact, that many Chinese people had expressed their desire to have Trump continue, because Trump would have isolated the US and then being played by China too, you know. But now, I think China knows that the relationship has some potentials to improve, but then China will have to be very careful about certain aspects of its policy which may be seen by the U.S. as unfair. You know, so I think China will move cautiously, but also, you know, verbally they may come out with some strong words, but all those things would be testing the waters.
But part of the speech by Secretary Blinken, he said he will deal with China from position of strength.
Yes.
Does that mean that the U.S. will have to gain in every opportunity? Does it leave the opportunity, or does it leave the chance of win-win situation?
In the end, it's a win-win situation, because when you negotiate, you come at and appear to have maximum strength, and then you can come to a happy medium compromise. But if you come in and you are alone, weak, then of course your ability to negotiate is much less. So I think it's a strategy, and I think the Chinese understand very well that those words are part of the strategy, that they have to be proud to come in. And when President Biden or Secretary Blinken says position of strength, it is no longer an emphasis on military, although the military strength is there, but the emphasis is on having friends. And the U.S. is saying that we will be strong and we will have strength if we have friends behind us.
Regarding the current situation in Myanmar, we can see how the world is even deeply divided between the U.S. and European countries, and UK and China and Russia are on the other camp. So how to deal with this current situation in Myanmar, given that it's happening in the region?
Yes, I think we started out right in Thailand, because Thailand has a unique opportunity. We actually have enjoyed good relations with Myanmar, even during the dark days, you know, years ago. So we could play a role, a constructive role in trying to bridge the gap between different sides. So I think that is a role that Thailand can play. I have played that role personally, and with a lot of happy results. And so it's a delicate situation, but I think it's very important for Thailand to have maximum communication at with different channels with the U.S. As well as with Myanmar. So communication channels would be the cards that we should use.
Our Foreign Minister Kun Don said recently that Thailand certainly would want to have a role to play in helping find a solution to the
Yes.
crisis, right? But he said trust is very important,
Yes.
right? So how much do you think that Myanmar has trust toward Thailand?
Well, that is a bit hard to measure, but I think Myanmar probably can trust Thailand more than many other countries, right? And so I think the trust level should be sufficient to have Thailand play a constructive role.